And we're recording in Flight Simulator. We're in India, Jodhpur, and I'm just gonna go. I got it marked for custom arrival, and I'm gonna go look for some pretty neat temples and stuff. Air Force Base, and there's the arrow pointing. Some temple, these are built into mountains and castles, supposedly 1500 or earlier, but they were never built by humans. They were built by Earth, kind of like a God, and it actually comes from an energy, almost like an antimatter or a source. There is no space or time. So when it comes, it's basically, you think of it like a 3D picture for perfect purpose of, shelter, heat, cooling, energy, electricity, transportation, and it built just basically, the Earth just builds it with a 3D printer. And because it comes from 5D, there is no space and time. When it gets built, there's signatures, and it'll be like symmetry, and a lot of domes and arcs, but there's free energy built in it. And the humans really didn't understand how they operated, so they ended up adapting them to coal and other things. They didn't know how it was heated, but they knew that they could heat up the steam or resin chimney, which would heat itself up, heat up the base of the chimney, not using fire. Well, they put firewood in there, and it gets massive. So they kind of repurposed them. And that's why a lot of them said they were founded. But they weren't founded. Well, they were founded. And so they say founders, that's literally what it means. And some people claim that they built them, or they burned down so that they rebuilt them, when really they just tried to claim ownership for something. So, here we are. There's a lot of trees, but they're not really done. And in India, there's all kinds of malls in the world, like starports, castles, and a lot of them were actually manifested using the power of quantum thought, which is greater than any power, because it's almost like little Big Bang, but to manifest something from 3D using quantum thought, you have to have a high frequency, and you have to have true emotion, either from the heart or the different chakras, and it connects to the 5D. And with you have to get kinds of good, and you have to do good to get to that frequency level. So a lot of satanic, evil-minded people can't do these things, but they will try to steal them. But they cannot create these things because the purpose is for good. And when they steal them, that's bad. And they're meant to be free, and then the whole Rothschilds, and they repurpose, trains, which were running off like an induction, electric induction, which would heat up a steam engine, I guess. So that kind of functioned on how a standard steam engine would. But it would be heated up from induction. That's why you see the domes on the train, and the design of everything, the tracks, the granite, the buildings that have these spires, they're actually bringing energy into a network, like a grid. And the same thing is coming in from the train and adding into that grid. And then the tracks where it gets the, I believe there's electricity transferred through there. It just comes through the top and then operates, heats up the motor or operates as a motor. Like, there's different types of transportation systems. Some were repurposed, some were copied. Like a lot of our housing styles are copied from this, but the signatures to say that they were not created by man. You'll see just massive weights to these boulders and precision, like they're almost too perfect. There's all kinds of other things that have been destroyed or modified over the years, and that's so they can do away with the free components of it and then manipulate to claim ownership and then use that technology to get oil or coal sales. That's what they've done. And the same thing with pharmaceuticals. There used to be natural remedies, and then there's healing components in these cathedrals and the bells, and that's why they destroyed all the bells. Because the powers to be that want to control the world, they want to steal all the wealth. They want to extract wealth and make everyone poor and scarce and dying and kill people. Just like what's going on in Canada with Carney and Trudeau. They're evil people. They're looting Canada, and they're traitors. They don't have a mandate. You don't sell, give away your money. You don't even have the money. They're giving away billions and billions of dollars you don't have. And they're bringing in millions and millions of people, which they know on basic economics and supply and demand principles, they're going to reduce the supply of housing and hospitals. And that's going to increase demand with millions and millions of people that they brought into Canada. There's no infrastructure to support them. And walk around, I'm in Ontario, London, Ontario, you walk around, it looks like little India. It's just terrible. They brought in, and our population went from 400,000 to 600,000 in 5 years. And you can't get a doctor, you can't get treatment, all the walk-in clinics are overloaded. And these people, as I call them, gimme grants, that are being brought in by the government, or just the doors are open. They're giving them special wages. They're giving employers are signing them up because the government pays their wages. Well, what's with that? And then they give them welfare, amounts that's greater than my pension. I worked. I mean, not to mention Canada pension and that, which is nothing, a joke. But I worked 38 years, and I got what would have been a good pension. And now my pension doesn't even cover rent. It's like $3,000 a month. But if you come in here as an immigrant or asylum seeker or refugee, the millions and millions, it's just a big scam, they get more. They get as much or more for a single person without working at all. They're not even a citizen. This is just, and the intent, this is where I'll show the politicians that are doing this, the Liberal Party, Carney, Trudeau, and all that, they know, he's an economist, and he's been calling the shots. He knows what the repercussions are. He's getting rich, Brookfield's getting rich, but he knows what the repercussions are. He's going to kill people, because people can't afford to live. So then they offer maid services to suicide people. And they're still bringing people in, and it's replacement theory. I was evicted in London, Ontario, Z Group, the vape. They evicted thousands of people in London, illegally. And I'm fighting them. I've been fighting them for 2 or 3 years. I got evicted. Technically I was home. Now I have to pay $15,000 a year extra in rent It's like I'm paying 2500 a month. It used to be, before I got evicted, it was 1200, and that was from a different place. So they evicted all these run-in Jewish thugs, threatened everyone. Half the people, more than half, laughed. And I didn't. They forced an eviction, illegal eviction, which I'm fighting. I've been fighting for 3 years, cost me thousands. I can't even get paralegals or lawyers to represent, because the Ed group put a notice out that anyone tried to represent these tenants that were being evicted in London by them, they would be blacklisted and never work again. Because most of the paralegals and lawyers, most of the work that they get is from these corporate landlords that are just ruthless frauds, thugs, and just a racket of corruption, illegal entrenchment. They're screwing my case around with the LTD, self-representing, winning, and they're interfering. The Jewish thugs are making calls and trying to affect my claim, which is only $15,000. I mean, I've spent extra $15,000 extra year the rest of my life. I'm going to be bankrupt. But if you're an asylum seeker or an immigrant, they give you back pay, like 2 years back pay. You got these immigrants buying brand new vehicles and they're living for free, getting more money than any Canadian gets in a pension. And they're living high in the hog, and most of them are sending money, I'm sure, back to their other countries, not even staying in Canada. They're disgusting third world person that, like I said, I have nothing against them. It's not that they're kind of victims, but they're taking advantage of everything. And then once they get here, they're not leaving. They're just staying here. And now we got like millions and millions of them, totally screwed to artificially inflated the real estate prices. Canadians are dying. This is manslaughter, because they knew what the effect would be. There's no way they couldn't have. Just basic supply and demand principle. We decrease the supply by bringing in millions and millions of immigrants. We evict all these Canadians that are just paying them for evicted, paying the rent. They weren't evicted for any other reason, it's just a fraud. And now they can't afford to live because there's no houses. And the houses that they do find something, it's double the rent, it's more than their income, and they end up being homeless. And then they kill themselves, or they go to maid, or they freeze to death in the streets. And this is intentional by Chrystia Freeland, Justin Trudeau, John Fraser, a whole whack of them. Mark Carney, obviously. They intentionally are killing Canadians. I will back that up every point. There's no way. It's not this is manslaughter. This is treason. Sending billions of dollars to unaccountable bank accounts under the guise of climate aid, gender studies. Bullshit. It's fraud. Chrystia Freeland is now in Ukraine getting billions in kickbacks. And they just said, when she went over there, they just said $2.5 million. Just as soon as they found out that she's going there. This is after they're sent 20 or 30 billion. They said $2.5 billion more. Plus we don't even have that money. And that's why Canada's bankrupt. And this is all being done by the World Economic Forum, Mark Carney, Brookfield, and it's treason. They should be arrested by the military and removed from office. And stop orders should be put on all that debt. It should be all just wiped clean, not paid. That is a crime. Do not have to pay a fine. That's laundered out of Canada. You don't see any other country sending money to Canada or anywhere else. It's just being stolen from the United States, Britain, and Canada. Canada's getting the worst effect because the cost of living and taxation is through the roof. You can't even live. It's impossible. The cost of food, you can't even afford to eat. It's just sickening. It's like 2 to 3 times as expensive as the States, and the average Canadian pays less than he makes in the States. And Carney is trying to suck up with China, which is communist country who's been interfering with our elections, got him elected, and that MP that crossed the floor, he's a Chinese traitor, Ma, his name. He went with her against traitors. Across the aisle. It's just sickening. There's another 11 verified people in Carney's government, or Trudeau, that are verified working with Chinese spies and receiving money and payment, which is treason, criminal high treason. They would have been executed, hung for crimes. If they did this right now in China, they would be executed. And there's no other countries that you go to any countries where people are coming from, China, India, wherever. They're all, you can't go to their countries. Their countries are better off than Canada. Canada doesn't have any money. They're trillions of dollars of debt now. They're only $600 billion for the history of Canada, thanks to Trudeau and Trudeau Senior, who signed up Canada with the Bank of International Settlement, where every amount of money that the government spends, they have to borrow it. Well, they used to loan it from the Bank of Canada, 0% interest in 1974. But after Trudeau changed that, he had $21 trillion in interest to bankers outside of Canada. So Canada's being destroyed, decimated. Even their resources are being given away. Everyone's profiting. Canadians aren't. It's all corrupt. These are criminal livers. Carney, Trudeau, Freeland, Fraser, McKinnon, a whole whack of them. There's that Anita Anand, her husband's in on the grifting of his company, billions of dollars during COVID. She's a scammer. She's a immigrant. I mean, just look at her. She's exactly like these immigrant criminals. Freeland, her grandfather is a Nazi in Ukraine. It's just sickening. Klaus Schwab, who she's aligned with, his father is a Nazi. They're all Nazis and criminals and corrupt thieves, and they're murderers because they know their policies are killing Canadians. They're offering a killing service made to kill people that can't afford to live. This is going to change, and I will manifest and send unjustly permanent each and every one of these criminals that are involved. I don't need to prove anything. I don't need to take them to court. The source will seek them out, and they will receive karmic justice as a reflection of their crime. And they can't escape that. There's no, the source doesn't, they know the truth. I know the truth. I can see the truth. And this is common sense. And Carney, he is a grifting criminal. Probably a pedophile too, hangs out with pedophiles. And like I say, I know how to connect to the source. I can see through anybody. I can put aside, I can tell the truth of anybody. When they look in my eyes, they will deflect their evil back. And right back to the time of justice. Our party, Trudeau, Mr. John Fraser, that little French fraud guy, the French fraud. Yeah, I call them these are criminals. I'll show them these are criminals. Because they're not going to get away with it. Guaranteed. They will be terminated. Common justice will ensure justice will be served. They know they're Trudeau, biggest criminal in the world, profiting off these vaccines that were bioweapons, trying to kill me in vaccine. I'm not vaccinated, but kill me. I should be able to terminate him and kill him himself. This is ridiculous, and it goes against American code is just common sense. What says what's good and what's good and evil is, that's evil. Thou shalt not kill. They know they are killing. They are stealing billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars, being laundered to their globalist puppet masters, and they will pay. I will ensure they have permanent justice, and it will hunt them down. They will never escape. They're evil humans. Idiot Freeland, very evil. Trudeau, Carney is goop, idiot, pussy. Oh, I just love him. See him for 5 minutes. I assure you, justice will be served. People are destroyed Canada. You guys would call Canada little India. You walk anywhere in my place, London, Ontario is worse. London, Ontario, we got the most people coming into London. We're like 400,000, and now we're 600,000, 200,000 Indians. Yeah, it's like white people are a minority. It's like white people in Canada are like 8% of the population. There were 30-something percent before they brought in millions and they started killing white Canadians. They're killing them. Look at all the homeless. They're all white, but you can't afford rent. Rent starts at more than your income. There's a problem. They knew that. They knew what was going to happen. They knew. They were even warned by their own administration. And they still did it. And they're still doing it. They're still stealing. Carney is a criminal. And he will receive public justice. I promise you. I assure you. This is happening. It will happen. They will never escape it. Well, they better hope they never look in my eyes. They look in my eyes, and they will receive that kind of justice right back into them. It reflects in my eyes. Never. I have a little bit of a mobility in it, and I'm not bragging about that. I just look back. Next is the source. I know how to see synchronicity. I know how to identify structures. And I know how to identify life. I see it. I look at the guys and I can see there is disgusting Trudeau liberals. And like I said, the Liberal Party wasn't like that before. It's not anything against the Liberal Party. The people that have been running it for the last 10 years are completely corrupted traitors. Yes, they are, but China is a communist country that kills its citizens, and they want to get met with them. Forget that. We will, anyone from China for the police, anything else, we will hunt them down, we will terminate them. Department of Justice is going to defend Canada. We will fix this problem, and justice will be served. There's no mistake. Money, Trudeau, Freeland, they are done. I guarantee you, Department of Justice will be served. They have no idea what I am capable of. What's the source? They have no idea. It's non-candidate competent. If the source wants them terminated, they will be terminated. I'm not sure what the verdict will be, but they are, I know they're guilty, everyone knows they're guilty. The RCMP have paid off, CBC and the media has given hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to not report on them. That's a crime in itself. It's supposed to be a free press. not a paid-off propaganda arm, yeah, which is what it is. The police, RCMP, they're all paid off. Everyone's being paid off. Same with the vaccinations and the forced vaccinations. They were forced. They were coerced, but forced. Firing people. Like I said, I got an autoimmune disorder. Haven't been able to be vaccinated. I had vaccines before, and then I ended up in the hospital. And they still tried to kill me. That forced me to take these bioweapon tests made in China, and I think it was taking an SB40 that been wrong. Now I got almost anti-psoriasis, probably still, but that's these are evil people. Do not associate with communist countries. They're enemy. China is trying to take over Canada. They want to kill us. Trudeau, they know exactly what the implications. This is the intent. The intent to kill. Repulsion. Make no mistake. This is murder. They are killing Canadians. They can say what they want. That is the end result. And they damn well mean that. Trudeau's pussy ass goose. Over him, like very few. Him and I ever meet. He's looking over. Oh yeah. Anyways, that is what's happening in Canada. It's going to be destroyed. The middle class is non-existent. We make over 100 grand a year, we cannot live. Immigrants, they get that, if not more, but they live like 5 or 10 of them in an apartment or townhouse that they picked out all the Canadians so they can give it to them. And I know this one family, there's one townhouse, guy and his wife with 4 kids, she gets $13,000 a month. He gets $3,000. Get $16,000 a month. They never worked, never paid taxes in Canada at all. He went and bought the guy went and bought a brand new Escalade, $150,000. And if the money gets cut off, they're leaving. There's none of them having any intention on working. There'll be a lot of them criminals. A lot of them are thieves, criminals. There's no background checks on any of them. It's a criminal that knew what was going to happen. Carney, Trudeau, and make no mistake, I will not rest until justice is served. Justin Trudeau, Fraser, you guys have to do justice and down. I assure you, you will not escape. This is the justice from the source. Yet you have no idea. On how I know it. I have no idea what I want to hot the buildings are. You have no idea. And you're trusting. Are in a whole people coming. You will be brought to justice. Some people you enter there. That's all that needs to be done. Of course. Justice. There's no way an economist PhD supply and demand just alone by bringing in, millions and millions of immigrants. Exactly what the result is. There could be no other result. Increase in supply, that increases the demand, and can't build it, you're bankrupt. No one can afford to work, live, go to work, do anything. And no one can afford to buy houses now because the market's so artificially inflated because of all these people you brought in. And people are being evicted, they're homeless, they're dying in the streets. It can change. By Mark Carney and Justin Trudeau. And this is going to last for it's going to be a family justice. They will not escape it. This will haunt them for eons. They will go to hell. And very good living. Evil people. House Schwab, same thing. That Starmer pedophile prime minister. The Clint McCon with the trans wife. She's a pedophile. I mean, even if she wasn't a trans, she is. A guy. But even if she was a girl, she didn't. Yeah. Look at her walk. Guy. Girls don't walk like guys like that. It's so on. It looks like a guy. Talks like a guy, walks like a guy. He is a guy. And she was 39, he was 15, or 14, so she was a teacher. She's a pedophile. Criminal. But she's a guy, she's a trade. Same with the Chinese spy that they brought into our health, I guess. Dr. Kea under training. Chinese spy from Hong Kong to kill Canadians. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Like I said, I wouldn't have done that with anyone. I got all my information. I know how to read things. I have abilities that you have no idea. That's what I know. I know that people never have. This is a criminal. Ditch. Huh? They're all pussy. They're all corrupt. Get it off. Oh, Dr. Cant. He. Dude. Oh yeah, I'd like to. If I ever met, ran into her somewhere, I would terminate her. Oh. Yeah, they better, I mean, they ever see me open my eyes to them. You get black back, jacket, it will be instantaneous, it will be swift, it will be common justice. These are murderers. No explanation. Intent is there. You know exactly that Sean Fraser in the booth, Hellraiser's face, gagging sick, another booth. Palestinian terrorist booth. Yeah. Living that booth. Yeah, he's a booth. If he knows this too well, guess what? Karma will take care of him. It will terminate you. You're done. No dinner. Well, I think I said, you know, I am this. It's, source report. You can see these domes and stuff, they were created by people. There's ones that were in the mountains and big castles all over. A lot of the Jews claim them. As long as the karma will them down too. They're not meant for people to own and kill the population through nursery and rent and mortgage and debt. This is going to be served. Justice will be served. See through all their lies, all their crimes, and it's coming. My word, they have done like this. There we go. You guys.